Life has a way of reminding us that nothing lasts forever. We live as though tomorrow is promised, yet time is silently running out. Whether it is the end of a chapter, the end of relationships, the end of opportunities, or ultimately the end of life itself, preparedness is what separates those who leave behind regret and those who leave behind a legacy. Truth is this: the end always comes. Sometimes it arrives suddenly without warning. Sometimes it creeps in slowly until one day we realize it is already here. But no matter how it comes, those who have prepared find peace, while those who ignored the signs are left wishing they had one more chance. Today, I urge you to prepare for the end before it's too late, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Preparation is not about obsessing over death. It's about living more meaningfully while you still have life. One of the greatest truths we try to ignore in life is this: everything is temporary. Nothing that we see, touch, or hold will last forever. The houses we build will one day crumble. The careers we pour ourselves into will eventually be replaced by others. The youth we enjoy will fade, and the people we love will one day depart from us, or we from them. Yet, despite knowing this, we often live as if life is permanent, time is endless, and as if we are untouchable by change. To prepare for the end, the first and most difficult step is to accept impermanence. Accept that change is not an interruption. It is the rule. Accept that no matter how much you resist, seasons will shift. You hold in your arms today will one day walk away to chase their own path. The friendships you treasure may drift, not because of hatred, simply because life pulls people in different directions. Even your strongest achievements will one day be forgotten by the world. When you accept this truth, you stop clinging so tightly to things you cannot control. You begin to appreciate them while they are here, instead of taking them for granted and realizing their value only when they are gone. Impermanence, when denied, feels cruel. But when accepted, it becomes a gift, a reminder to live fully in the moment. Think about it: the beauty of a sunset lies in the fact that it does not last. Sweetness of a flower lies in its short bloom. If they lasted forever, they would lose their magic. Likewise, people and experiences in your life are precious precisely because they are temporary. Knowing this, you learn to look at your loved ones with softer eyes, speak kinder words, and hold on to moments instead of objects. Accepting impermanence is not about living in fear of losing. It's about living with gratitude for having. It's about understanding that the end is not something to be shocked by, but something to prepare for with dignity and wisdom. Those who embrace impermanence live with deeper joy because they know nothing is owed to them. Every sunrise, every laugh, every embrace is a borrowed miracle. So prepare for the end by acknowledging this truth: nothing you have is truly yours forever. Not your possessions, not your time, not even your breath. Once you understand this, you stop wasting your days on anger, greed, and pride, and instead you live in appreciation, humility, and love. One of the greatest tragedies of modern life is not death, it is living without truly living. So many people wake up every day, drag themselves out of bed, rush to work, chase deadlines, come home exhausted, eat, scroll through their phones, watch meaningless content, and then sleep, only to repeat the cycle again tomorrow. They mistake being busy for being alive, but business is not the same as purpose. Clock can tick all day, but it doesn't live. To prepare for the end, you must ask yourself a dangerous but necessary question. Am I living with purpose, or am I simply existing in routine? Because when the end finally comes, nobody will ask how many paychecks you earned, how many hours you worked overtime, or how many shows you binge watched. The only question that will matter is, did you live the life you were meant to live? Routine is seductive. It makes you feel safe, stable, and productive. If routine becomes your master, it steals your dreams. It locks you inside a cage where every day looks the same. Years pass by, and suddenly you realize that your youth is gone, your chances are fewer, and your soul is tired. Not because you lived too much, because you lived too little. Living with purpose means daring to break that cycle. It means pausing long enough to ask, why am I here? What is my gift? What impact can I make in this world before I leave it? Purpose is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet service, a life lived with kindness, a decision to raise children with love, or to create something that will bless people long after you are gone. Other times, purpose is big. It is vision, leadership, invention, or the courage to stand up for truth when everyone else bows down to comfort. When you find your purpose, life changes color. The ordinary becomes extraordinary because even simple actions gain meaning. Washing dishes becomes sacred if you see it as serving your family. Working becomes joyful if you see it as building a legacy. Purpose does not remove struggles, but it gives you a reason to endure them. Without purpose, pain feels like punishment. With purpose, running through the park, pain feels like preparation. Many people wait until the end of their lives to realize that they wasted their time on things that didn't matter. Don't wait until death comes knocking to start searching for meaning. Begin today. Park, break free from the prison of routine, and step into the freedom of purpose. Choose to live with intention, not just reaction. Don't just count the days. Make the days count. Because when the end comes, and it will, what will give you peace is not the routines you followed, the purpose you fulfilled. One of the greatest regrets people confess at the end of life is not about money, not about careers, not about lost opportunities. It is about relationships. It is about the people they loved but never told, the apologies they never gave, the forgiveness they withheld, and the time they assumed they had but never used. We live as if people will be here forever. We assume our parents will always answer the phone, that our friends will always be a text away, that our children will always stay young and close. Life whispers a painful truth: nothing and no one stays forever. The day will come when you dial a number and no one picks up. Day will come when a chair at the dinner table stays empty. The day will come when the laughter you loved is only a memory. To prepare for the end, you must make peace with your relationships. That means strengthening them now. Not later, not someday, but today. If someone has been there for you, thank them. If someone has hurt you, forgive them. If you have hurt someone, apologize. Do not let pride, ego, or stubbornness steal moments that you can never reclaim. Think about how fragile life truly is. A single accident, a single diagnosis, a single goodbye can change everything. Yet how often do we waste days in silence, holding grudges, waiting for the right time to fix things? The truth is, there is no perfect time. The perfect time is now. Strengthening relationships also means showing up. In a world where people are more connected than ever through technology, true connection is fading. Like on a photo is not the same as sitting down face to face. A text message saying, "I'm fine," is not the same as really asking, "How are you, truly?" Strengthening bonds means being present, listening deeply, giving time, offering comfort, and celebrating joy together, running through the park. When you reach the end, you will not remember the money you spent on material things, but you will remember the conversations, the laughter, the shared tears, and the love you gave and received. Relationships are the currency of eternity. They outlast possessions, achievements, and even failures. So, ask yourself, who do I need to call today? Who do I need to forgive? Who do I need to embrace before it's too late? Do not assume that you have years. Sometimes all you have is today. Don't let stubbornness rob you of peace. Don't let time rob you of love. Because When the end finally comes, you will not wish for more work hours, but you will wish for more moments with the people who mattered. Prepare for the end by loving deeply, forgiving freely, and strengthening every bond you can while you still have the chance. When the end finally comes, and it will, there are only two ways people will remember you: either as someone who simply existed, or as someone who truly lived and left a mark. The question you must ask yourself is not, how long will I live? But rather, what will remain after I am gone? Too often, people spend their lives chasing things that fade: money, status, fame, possessions. And while there is nothing wrong with success or achievement, the truth is simple. You cannot take any of it with you. The houses you build will one day belong to strangers. The titles you hold will be passed on to someone else. The clothes, the cars, the luxuries you worked so hard for will eventually collect dust or be sold. These are temporary victories, not eternal legacies. But a legacy is different. A legacy is what you leave behind in the hearts of people. It is the echo of your kindness, the impact of your service, the wisdom you shared, the love you gave, the lives you lifted, the lessons you taught, and the example you set. A true legacy is not measured in wealth, but in worth. It is not measured in numbers, but in names. The names of the people who will say, because of them, my life is better. Building a legacy means asking yourself, what will people remember about me? Will they remember your anger, your selfishness, your absence? Or will they remember your generosity, your encouragement, your faith, your presence? Every choice you make, every word you speak, every action you take is either building or breaking your legacy. Legacy is not only about big accomplishments. Some of the greatest legacies are built quietly. A mother who raises her children with love leaves behind generations shaped by her sacrifice. A teacher who believes in a struggling student plants seeds that grow into forests of greatness. Stranger who offers kindness in a dark moment can shift the entire direction of another person's life. Small actions, multiplied over time, create legacies that ripple through eternity. The tragedy is that so many people live only for themselves. They die full of potential, full of unused gifts, full of words they never spoke, dreams they never chased, and kindness they never gave. Don't let that be you. Don't let the end find you with everything still inside you. Empty yourself into the world. Give your wisdom. Share your heart. Build something that cannot be erased. Because when your time is over, the measure of your life will not be found in the bank account you left behind, in the love you sowed, the lives you touched, and the faith you carried. Ask yourself, if I were gone tomorrow, what story would people tell about me? Would it be a story worth repeating? Prepare for the end by living in such a way that when people speak your name, it brings light, not sorrow, hope, not despair. Life so fully that when you leave, you will not truly be gone, because your legacy will keep speaking long after your voice has fallen silent. When the end approaches, one of the heaviest burdens people carry is not sickness, not age, not even death itself. It is regret. Regret is the silent thief of peace. It whispers in your final hours, reminding you of the chances you never took, the dreams you abandoned, the words you never spoke, and the moments you let slip away. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll call them later, or I'll chase that dream one day? But days turn into weeks, weeks into months, months into years, and suddenly, someday becomes never. That is how regret is born, through procrastination, hesitation, and fear. When people are asked at the end of their lives what they regret most, it is rarely what they did. It is almost always what they didn't do. They regret not spending enough time with their family. They regret not saying, I love you, more often. They regret staying silent when they should have spoken. They regret working too much and living too little. They regret living for the expectations of others instead of the calling within their own soul. To prepare for the end, you must free yourself from regret while you still have time. That means making bold choices now. That means choosing to love loudly, forgive quickly, live fully, and act courageously. Regret is not born from failing. Regret is born from never trying. Imagine looking back at your life and realizing that fear stole your dreams. You wanted to write the book, but never picked up the pen. You wanted to travel, but always found excuses. You wanted to start the business, sing the song, paint the picture, your truth, but you silenced yourself and time moved on without you. What could be more painful than dying with everything still inside you? Freeing yourself from regret requires courage. Courage to risk embarrassment. Courage to risk failure. Courage to step into the unknown. Because even if you stumble, even if you fall, at least you will know you tried. Failure fades, but regret lingers forever. Also requires forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. Some people carry the weight of past mistakes so heavily that they never allow themselves to move forward. They punish themselves endlessly, replaying the same guilt in their minds until life slips away. But regret cannot undo the past. It can only poison the present. To be free, you must let go. You must forgive yourself. You must learn from the pain and then step into the future with wisdom, not chains. Ask yourself, today were my last day, what would I regret? Who would I regret not calling? What dream would I regret not pursuing? What truth would I regret not speaking? The answers to those questions are your guide. They show you what to do now. Because the truth is this, regret only exists when you wait too long. But freedom from regret exists when you act today. Don't let the end catch you wishing for more time. Let it find you satisfied, knowing you squeezed every drop of meaning out of the life you were given. Live boldly. Speak truthfully. Love deeply. Chase passionately. Forgive quickly. And when the end finally comes, it will not find you empty with regret. It will find you full with peace. No matter how successful, wealthy, or admired you become, there will come a moment when none of it matters. When the titles, the possessions, and the applause of the world grow silent. In that moment, when you are face to face with the reality of the end, what will sustain you is not what is outside of you, but what is within you. And that within is your spiritual core. Your spiritual core is the anchor of your soul. It is the place where your values, your faith, your beliefs, and your eternal perspective live. Too many people build their lives on shaky ground. On careers, on relationships, on wealth, on reputation. But when the storms of life come, when sickness strikes, when betrayal cuts deep, when the end approaches, those things crumble. Only a strong spiritual foundation can withstand what life and death bring. To prepare for the end, you must take time to align with your spiritual core. Ask yourself, who am I when the noise is gone? What do I truly believe? What do I stand for? Where do I place my hope? If you cannot answer these questions now, the end will feel frightening. But if your soul is anchored, the end will not be a terror, it will be a transition. Spiritual alignment is not about religion alone. It is about connection. It is about connecting with something higher, greater, and eternal. It is about realizing that life is not just about acquiring, but about becoming. It is about understanding that you are not just flesh and bone, but spirit and purpose. Think of it like this. When a tree's roots run deep, no storm can uproot it. In the same way, when your spiritual roots run deep, whether in faith, in prayer, in meditation, in truth, or in divine connection, you are unshaken by endings. Yes, they may bring sadness. Yes, they may bring tears. But they will not bring despair. Because you know you are part of something beyond this world. So many people spend all their energy strengthening their bodies and minds, neglect their souls. They forget that the body will age, the mind will slow, but the soul is eternal. To live without nurturing your spiritual self is to walk through life strong on the outside, but empty within. And when the end comes, emptiness is unbearable. Aligning with your spiritual core means making peace with your past, with your choices, with others, and with God. It means seeking forgiveness where it is needed, offering forgiveness where it is required, and living in such a way that you can face the end with peace instead of fear. It also means living with eternity in mind. When you know that life is not the final destination, you stop clinging to temporary things and start focusing on what truly matters: love, compassion, faith, service, and truth. These are the treasures that do not fade, the treasures that go beyond the grave. Ask yourself, if today were my last, am I spiritually ready? Is my soul at peace? Am I living in alignment with my deepest values and eternal truths? If the answer is no, then start today. Reconnect, pray, reflect, heal, forgive, love, anchor your life in what cannot be shaken. Because when the end finally comes, and it will, you will not take fear with you. You will take peace. And that peace can only come when your heart, your mind, and your spirit are aligned with your true core. It is easy to talk about the end in emotional or spiritual terms. True wisdom requires something more. It requires practical preparation. Too many people live as if tomorrow will always be there. They prepare for a wedding, for a promotion, for vacations, for birthdays, but they never prepare for the one event that is absolutely guaranteed. The end. Preparation is not just about being mentally ready. It is about putting your life in order in ways that bless those you will leave behind. If you ignore this, you may not carry the weight of it, but your loved ones will. Families have been torn apart because someone passed away without a plan. Confusion, conflict, debts, and questions can cause unnecessary pain simply because someone refused to prepare practically for their exit. To prepare practically means taking steps that may feel uncomfortable now, but will bring peace later. It means writing a will so that your family knows your wishes. It means organizing your finances so that your children are not left with burdens. It means putting affairs in order so that when you are gone, people are guided instead of lost. This is not a morbid act. It is an act of love. But practical preparation goes beyond paperwork. It means creating habits and disciplines that prepare you for the future. Save money. Take care of your health. Build relationships of trust. Mentor others so your wisdom continues when your voice is silent. Teach your children not just how to survive, but how to live with integrity and strength. This is legacy building in practical form. Most people avoid these steps because they fear death, as if ignoring it will make it disappear. But preparation does not summon the end. It only softens it. Ignoring preparation does not delay the inevitable. It only guarantees chaos when it comes. Imagine the gift it is to your family when, in their grief, they do not have to argue, search, or guess, because you already loved them enough to plan for their tomorrow. Practical preparation also means living wisely day to day. Don't overextend yourself financially, thinking you'll sort it out later. Don't keep toxic habits in your body, assuming you'll fix them in time. Don't procrastinate on decisions that matter, assuming you'll get around to it. Every delay builds a pile of unfinished business that will one day collapse under its own weight. Ask yourself, if I were gone tomorrow, what mess would I leave behind? What pain could I prevent by acting now? What order could I set in place to give my loved ones peace? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary ones. True preparation is a balance. You must prepare emotionally so you can face the end with peace. You must prepare spiritually so you can face the end with hope. But you must also prepare practically so that others can face the end of your life without unnecessary suffering. Because, in the end, preparation is not just about you. It is about everyone your life has touched. To ignore the practical side is to love yourself. To embrace it is to love others. So, don't just prepare emotionally. Don't just prepare spiritually. Prepare practically. For when the end comes, and it will, those who loved you will thank you for the peace you left behind. My friend, end is not something we can bargain with. It is not something we can delay or negotiate. It will come. For me, for you, for all of us. The question is not if, but when. And the real question is, will you be ready? To prepare for the end is not to live in fear. It is to live in freedom. It is to live without clinging, without regret, without unfinished business. It is to love while you still can, forgive while you still can, give while you still can, and leave behind a life that speaks even when you are silent. One day, the clock will stop ticking for each of us. But until that day, we have a choice to live with intention, a choice to align with purpose, a choice to strengthen our relationships, choice to build a legacy, a choice to prepare, not just for ourselves, but for those who will walk the earth after us. So prepare for the end, not tomorrow, not someday, but today. Because when it finally comes, you don't want to meet it with fear in your heart. You want to meet it with peace in your soul. And when people remember your name, let them not remember the things you had, but the person you were. Let them say they lived fully. They loved deeply. They left us better than they found us. That is preparation. That is wisdom. That is victory over the end.